Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 2014 all-time favorites. So we'll start out with the eyeshadows, and I'm just going to go over these really quickly because I do have quite a few things in front of me. So if you want any more information, just leave me a comment in the down box below and I'll try to answer it, or I can also link to a couple of reviews if I reviewed one of the items that I'm talking about today. So we're going to start off with eyeshadow palettes. My first favorite is going to be the Saucebox Etude palette. It's just this all matte palette full of neutrals and very large pan size, so definitely something I was reaching for a lot last year. Another Saucebox palette is the Creme de la Creme palette. I like this because it first of all has Black Widow, which is the blackest shadow I've ever tried, and then it also has these really pretty highlight colors right here. So these are obviously actually eyeshadows, but I love using these also as cheek highlights. So really like this palette as well. Another one is the Urban Decay Electric palette. I got this in the summer of last year. It's full of these very brightly colored shadows. Well, they're technically pigments, not shadows. So I love this. It's great. You can use them on your eyes, your cheeks, your lips. Fabulous palette if you do like color. So continuing on with eyeshadows, I'm going to go across some singles that I really liked. So I have three MAC shadows. These ones I just had to buy brand new ones because I totally ran out of my last Blanc Type and Mylar. These are shadows I use every day. So Blanc Type is something I probably go through about one pan a year. Blanc Type is my favorite base shadow. I use a base shadow that's always matte and close to my skin color, and Blanc Type is perfect for that. And then I like to use Mylar. This is my go-to highlight. It is basically always what I use as a brow highlight because I do have a little extra skin on my eyelids. I don't want a really heavy, like super pearlized, frosted, shimmery highlight, so I go with Mylar because it's a beautiful satin. So now I have some Makeup Geek shadows. These were something I did also discover in 2014, and I am a huge fan of these. So I'm going to show you a couple of my most used ones. One is Beaches and Cream. This is really pretty. It's very similar to Peach Smoothie, which I also use frequently. I use Beaches and Cream more as just my kind of any color, transition color, and then I'll use Peach Smoothie if I'm using really warm colors. As you can see, they're quite similar. This one I find is a little more flattering on my skin tone since the Peach Smoothie pulls quite peachy on me. Another one that I use all the time is Bitten. It's this gorgeous matte burgundy. Cocoa Bear, which is similar to MAC's Brown Script, which is another one of my favorite eyeshadows, but Cocoa Bear is a little deeper and a little more brown than orange, so this is just gorgeous. Barcelona Beach, which is more of a satin than a pure matte. Like, it comes off pretty matte, but it has a slight hint of sheen, so I'd go with this as a little more of a satin, and this is just a gorgeous transition or even just crease color if you want something a little more simple. Unexpected, this is pretty much my favorite color to wear on myself. This kind of lilac gray color. So I'm going to show this and then transition kind of into highlights I've really enjoyed. So this is Makeup Forever, and this is 126. This is one of their old formulas. I picked this up early last year, and it was before they reformulated everything. So I'm not sure what is the equivalent to this right now, but I'll try to find that out and put that in the down box below. But it's just this really pretty, like, champagne nude color. So I really like that as a highlight if you don't want something super intense. Again, it does work as an eyeshadow, obviously. Going into highlights, this is not a new favorite, but I feel like I should still talk about it because I did use it so much. MAC Emphasize, this is my go-to everyday highlight. If I can't figure out what to use, I use that. It's a gorgeous off-white satin. My other highlight I'm going to talk about is, again, not something I actually found in 2014, but I used it so much that it still gets kind of a shout out because it's not one I always talk about in my monthly favorites unless I use it like basically every day. This is the Balms Mary Luminizer. This is, again, a gorgeous, this is super, super shimmery, but kind of that beige gold color. Just a really, really pretty shimmery color that works great as a highlight, but it also looks great as an eyeshadow. I think I used it more of an eyeshadow than even a highlight. So from there, let's go into blushes. So my favorite blushes of this year is MAC Warm Soul. I can't believe I waited until this year to get it because I use this all the time. Another one I've really been liking is MAC Full of Joy. I'm a big fan of lilac blushes. Another blush kind of in that same color family is Secret Admirer. This one, as you can see, is a little more pink than this one. It's really close, but this one's a little more pink. I think this is really pretty. I actually wear this quite frequently. It's a lot more wearable than maybe you would think, but this is just a really gorgeous matte lavender blush. So we'll talk about contour colors real quick. My favorite contour of this year is definitely the Anastasia Fawn. We'll go into foundations and kind of face products real quick. So I've really been enjoying, this is the Fair, this is the Tarte BB Tinted Moisturizer. So this I wear either as a primer under my foundation if I want just a little more coverage. And this is also great on its own. It is very, very sheer. So if you want a very, very light, kind of just barely even your skin tone out, but let your freckles really show through, or I guess if you have freckles or just something like that, this is a really nice BB cream. This gets a shout out because I use it basically every day. These are my absolute favorites. I use Illamasqua Skin Base in White mixed with Makeup Forever in the 118 color. This is the lightest neutral, so I match basically my undertones and then I just lighten it till it matches my skin tone. But this is my go-to everyday foundation. Another thing that I discovered in 2014 that I've really been liking, this is the NYX, their Dark Circle Concealer. I would not call this a concealer, I would call it a corrector. As you can see, it's quite kind of that peachy color. You're not really gonna wanna put this on alone and not cover it. So I'd call it more of a corrector, but I love that. I was trying out a couple different ones, found that, and I haven't looked at any others. To go into that, I also really like the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is my favorite concealer, so I really like this. It's a perfect match and it does a great job. You can build this to a full coverage. I'm obsessed with it. Another NARS product is the NARS Larger Than Life in Rue Bonaparte. This is just one of their eyeliners. It's in this really nice nude color, and I find these last the longest on the waterline, so I like to use this just to kind of open up my eyes a little bit more. Got a couple powders here. So the first one is the NARS. This is their translucent crystal. I have this both in the pressed and the loose. I use the pressed kind of on the go, and I prefer the loose for kind of when I'm sitting at my vanity. This is just a really nice, it's a silica-based concealer, so you will get some flashback. So if you're gonna be in flash photography, use this either sparingly or skip it, but it's just really nice. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's going to catch the light. You're not going to have a very flat look even though you've still powdered. This is something I found late in 2014, but I am loving it. This is the Laura Mercier. It's their Secret Brightening Powder. It's another silica based powder. I find it to be rather similar to the NARS Radiant one, so if you're going to get one of these, I'd probably get this one, because this one I don't feel like I can use all over my face. But this does not darken the concealer that I use under my eyes. So I use this just to set under my eyes and nothing else. So if you're like, that's way too high maintenance, then just go for this one. Especially if you don't have issues with dark circles. But this is just does a great job setting it. It doesn't crease, it keeps it looking bright. I love it. Another powder, this is more of a finishing powder. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lining Powder, and this is in the color Ethereal. Talk about eye primers real quick. My favorite eye primer was definitely Pro Prime. This is the Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base by NARS, and I'm not a huge fan of the doe foot applicator, but the formula is great. This is hands down my favorite eyeshadow primer. I've tried a lot, but this one is one that I've repurchased. Got 3 mascaras. So L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, didn't find this year when wearing this since I was 17, but I use it all the time. Full and Soft, this is kind of a old favorite but new favorite. This was like one of the first mascaras I ever used, and then I used it again a little more in high school, and then I was just using the L'Oreal Voluminous, and now I've gone back to using this, especially now that I'm wearing more of those mink lashes, which are very kind of fluffy and pretty. So if you want a more natural look rather than something that's going to be super voluminous, I would go for this one because it doesn't make your lashes like crispy at all, and it's just gorgeous. And this is hands down my favorite bottom lash mascara. This is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash, and it just has that nice fine brush that is just great for getting underneath there. It also looks great on your upper lashes if you're wanting more length and volume. Got some brow products real quick. This is something that I found towards the end of 2014, but I really have been obsessing over it. This is the Ash Brown Brow Powder Duo by Anastasia. So you can see it's just basically 2 colors, brow powders. It's gorgeous and super, super ashy. This is what I have in my brows today. Dip Brow Pomades came out in 2014 and I really like these. I used to use the Makeup Forever Aqua Brow, but I find the Dip Brow Pomades give me a little more playtime, so I prefer these. I use the color Taupe and Dark Brown and the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This was something that I actually hadn't used until 2014. I had been using a brow gel. I had been using just the Maybelline like Great Lash, the kind of like sucky mascaras, and I had just been using the clear one as my brow gel, and I was like, oh, that's fine. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on just something to gel my eyebrows, but I was wrong because this does a way better job keeping my brows in place. I used to actually keep a clear mascara in my bag because I have like really long brow hairs that I actually have to trim them, and especially the ones over here are just really hard to keep in place where I want them. And yes, this does make your brows feel a little bit crispy, but it keeps them in place, so I love this. My favorite lash glue is House of Lashes lash glue. That's hands down my favorite. It's latex free, so it doesn't smell super nasty, and it has the little brush tip. It dries super fast, it gets really tacky, and I don't really have anything bad to say. I tried that and I've never gone back to a different one. I love it. So we'll talk about the eyelashes I was loving this year. So these are the 415s. These are by Elegant Lashes. They're rather similar to the House of Lashes Temptress lashes, but these are a little bit shorter. Temptress lashes were my kind of go-to lash if I didn't know what I was gonna wear, and just kind of an everyday one for me. These are slightly shorter, so these work better because my eyes are on the smaller size. So if you find that the Temptress lashes are just a little too long, this is a great alternative. These are also quite cheap. Another one from Elegant Lashes, I'm gonna cover this up because these are on the wrong back. These are the Mystic Lashes. They're M06, and these are just these really fun, very pretty kind of, I don't even know what to describe them as. They're like just very kind of dramatic, but they're very kind of fluffy, very long. They're just super pretty. They look great with a lot of different eye looks that are a little more on the dramatic side. Another ones I really like, but they are currently on my face. These are the House of Lashes, the Siren Lashes. These are really fun for kind of more rounded, smoky eyes. As you can see, they're just kind of chunky. They curl up and they kind of go in clumps, but I think they're just a really fun kind of different lash. I also really like, these are the Carousel Lashes in the style Iris. These are really pretty because they just have this really nice, very kind of just wispy look to them. They are tapered, so they're definitely a little bit longer on the outside, but I really like that kind of elongated eye look, so I think these are gorgeous. I also got a ton of wears out of these. Like, they're just now starting to die, and I've probably worn them like probably close to 40 times. So yeah, these actually held up really great for being mink lashes, because sometimes when they have a really thin band, I find that they are super fragile. So these are the velour lashes, and these are in the style Wispy Me Away, and these are just gorgeous. They are, again, mink style lashes. They have a slightly thicker band than the Carousel, and they are just these really pretty lashes, but instead of having the elongated look that the Carousels do, they go from basically being thin to your thickest. They go from being the shortest to the longest in the center and then go short again. So they just have this gorgeous tapered look to them. They look not super natural, but they're not like overly dramatic. So they're pretty versatile. So you can wear it with something that's a little more dramatic or something that's a little more on the simple side, and they're just gorgeous. Those might be the contender for my absolute favorite mink lashes. So I have some lip liners because we're actually getting towards the end of this. So Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics, these are the cosmetic high color pencils, and this is in the color Hoochie. I really like this color. It's just a really pretty kind of very purple, a little more of a kind of a pinkish purple, gorgeous color. It obviously matches the lip tar in Hoochie, but I also really like wearing this under other colors, just kind of change the color slightly. You can also wear it on your eyes or your lips, so that's great. The Urban Decay Ozone lip liner, it's just this clear lip liner. I really like this. I use clear lip liners when either I don't have color that matches, or when I'm not really worried about the longevity as much as I'm worried about bleeding, because I just find this is a great way to stop bleeding. That's something that I have a lot of issues with. Stone Lip Liner by MAC. This is just a gorgeous gray color. I love gray lipstick, so this is something that I really like. Plus, you're able to kind of change the color of other lipsticks and just wear it underneath. My go-to kind of nude or my lips but better color is Dervish. It's just this really pretty color. I wear it a lot with either nudes or with faux. So now we're going to talk about lip colors, and that's the last section I have. So we're gonna we'll start with lip glosses. So my favorite lip gloss this is the Mine Her, and this is one of the OCC's stained lip gloss. So I don't know if you've watched any of my other videos, I do not like sticky lip glosses. I know they're gonna last longer, but they just piss me off, so I can't wear them. So I really like this one. This is just a really nice nude color. It's a really easy way to kind of mute out a color, or if you have a nude lipstick, that's kind of I don't really like glosses, and I don't really even like the way glossy lips look, but I do really like to have kind of a gloss over a nude, because then it's not gonna look super flat and just kind of like weird. So I do really like to have a nude gloss, and this is definitely my favorite. It's not the longest wearing because it isn't very sticky, but I love this. This I absolutely fell in love with. I was trying to not, buy a YSL expensive lipstick, but when I was in IMATS, I saw Sam's, and this is just, it's so pretty. I don't regret getting it at all. As you can see, I've used a lot of it, and I haven't even had it that long, but this is basically my favorite nude. It's YSL's Beige Tribute number 10, and I don't like the smell. It does smell kind of like, well, it smells like roses. A lot of people say it smells like old ladies, so depends on what you think old ladies smell like, because it just smells like roses. So gorgeous, super nice nude. OCC's Lip Tar in Sebastian. This is one of my all-time favorite lip colors. Black Cat. This is by Pretty Zombie Cosmetics. It's just a gorgeous, rich, deep black, and it's a liquid to matte lipstick. Really like the formulation on these. This is NARS Cruella, so it's one of their velvet matte pencils, so it's just this gorgeous matte blue-based red. Another one I really like, I'm not sure how you get this one. I got this as a VIB Rouge perk, and this is the Marc Jacobs. This is in the cover Cabaret, and it's just this gorgeous purpley berry color, and I think it's just a lovely color. This one doesn't look quite as pretty because it did come to be melted. This is the Play Beauty. I'm gonna give you a swatch because it's not as like pretty in the tube, because like I said, mine was melted, and this is in the color Darling. It's kind of similar to like the YSL. This is like if I want a nude color with a little more color. It's a little more on the creamy side because you do get quite a glossy finish, and it's just kind of like nude but pink, and I really like that as well. For if I want a nude color but I don't want something with such beige undertones, I'll go for this over the YSL. Another one that I really like, this is kind of like a lipstick gloss hybrid. These are much more like lipsticks than I expected. I thought this was going to be more like a gloss, but no, it's super pigmented, so then it's more like a lipstick. I don't really know how to describe these, but these are J'adore les lèvres. I can't speak French. I'm not even going to try. But it's like, I love the lips, I guess. And these are like the Sweet Pea and Bay liquid lipsticks, and this is in the color Paper Cut. And this is one of my favorite colors to wear if I'm basically not wearing a lot of makeup. It's great because it's not super drying, but it still is really pretty and glossy. MAC Snob, I love this. If my hair is pink, this is like my favorite color to wear. I also really like Faux. This is a satin finish. This is basically my lips but better. So this is great if I don't really want a nude, but I don't really want a lot of color on my lips. I'll go for Faux because it's perfect. So those were all my favorites for 2014. Let me know in the comments box below what were your favorites. I'm also gonna have another video probably I'm also gonna have another video this month kind of being like what are like my non-makeup favorites. So I'll talk a little bit about skincare, hair care, other types of things that were my favorite. I just didn't want this video to be super long, so I decided I was going to make kind of one that's just makeup, and then I'll do the ones and kind of other beauty products. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this a thumbs up. That super helps me out. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and let me know any requests that you have in the comments box below, and I hope to see you guys again soon.